The bold and the beautiful. When the sky fell. Finn's regret. The call came just after dawn. Finn had barely slept. He lay on the edge of the bed at the cliff house, staring at the pale gray light creeping through the curtains, the ocean below eerily calm. Steffi had been gone for 3 days, Paris for a last-minute Forrester International meeting, she'd said. A quick flight. In and out. He hated that phrase now. When his phone rang, his heart reacted before his mind did. Something inside him knew. The sound felt wrong, too sharp, too final. Finn answered without checking the caller ID. Dr. Finnegan, a solemn voice asked. Yes, this is Finn. There was a pause. A breath. The kind of breath people take before they change your life forever. This is the California Aviation Authority. I'm calling in regard to Flight 728 from Paris to Los Angeles. Finn stood abruptly, the room spinning. Yes. My wife was on that flight. Another pause. Longer this time. I'm very sorry, Dr. Finnegan. The aircraft went down over the Atlantic. There were no survivors. The phone slipped from his hand. For a moment, just one impossible moment, there was silence. No ocean. No birds. No heartbeat. Then Finn collapsed to his knees. No, he whispered. No, 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 you're wrong. You have the wrong flight. She's Steffi Forrester. She survives things. She always survives. But the words didn't bring her back. The sky outside seemed to darken as Finn let out a sound that didn't even sound human, a broken, guttural cry that tore from his chest. He pressed his fists into the floor, shaking violently as reality crashed down around him. Steffi was gone. The cliff house had never felt so empty. Finn wandered from room to room like a ghost, touching things she had left behind. Her jacket draped over a chair, her sunglasses on the counter, the faint scent of her perfume still lingering in the air. He picked up her jacket and pressed it to his face. I should have gone with you, he sobbed. I should have insisted. Every argument replayed in his mind. Every moment he'd been impatient. Every time he'd chosen work over her. He remembered the night before she left, how tired she'd looked, how she'd paused at the door. Finn, she'd said softly. Promise me something. What? Promise you won't shut me out again. He had smiled, kissed her, said, We're good. They were not good. Finn slid down against the wall, clutching the jacket as tears streamed down his face. I'm sorry, he whispered over and over. I'm so sorry, Steffi. Ridge heard the news in his office at Forrester Creations. He didn't sit down. He didn't speak. He simply stared straight ahead as the words hit him like a physical blow. No, Ridge finally said. No. That's not possible. But it was. When he walked into the design room moments later, Brooke knew before he said a word. She rushed to him, fear etched across her face. What happened? Ridge's voice cracked. It's Steffi. The room fell silent. Brooke gasped. Hope covered her mouth. Thomas went pale. She's gone, Ridge whispered. Thomas broke down instantly, collapsing into a chair, his hands shaking. No. No, she can't be. She's my sister. She's supposed to be here. Ridge turned away, tears finally spilling down his face. He had lost his daughter. His firstborn. His fierce, brilliant, stubborn girl. I couldn't protect her, he murmured. The hardest moment came when Finn had to tell the children. He knelt in front of Kelly and Hayes, his eyes red, his voice barely holding together. Daddy, where's Mommy? Kelly asked. Finn's throat closed. He pulled them into his arms, holding them tightly. Mommy was very brave, he said softly. But there was an accident. Kelly frowned. Is she coming home? Finn couldn't lie. No, sweetheart. Kelly burst into tears, screaming for her mother, while Hayes clung silently to Finn's shirt, confused but sensing the pain. Finn's own sobs joined theirs as he held his children, his heart breaking beyond repair. Days passed in a blur of condolences, cameras, whispered sympathy. Finn avoided them all. At night, he stood on the balcony, staring at the sky. "You were afraid of flying," he said aloud. "You trusted me to say it would be okay." His voice cracked. "And I let you go alone." He punched the railing, pain shooting through his hand, but it didn't compare to the agony in his chest. "I failed you," he cried. "I was supposed to protect you." Memories haunted him. Steffi laughing, Steffi angry, Steffi fierce and alive. Now she was only a memory. The memorial was held overlooking the ocean. White flowers. Soft music. An unbearable stillness. Finn stood at the podium, trembling. "She was the strongest woman I've ever known," he said, tears streaming freely. "She loved with everything she had. And I didn't always deserve her." His voice broke completely. "I will spend the rest of my life regretting the moments I didn't fight harder for us. I would give anything, anything, to hear her voice one more time." Ridge placed a hand on Finn's shoulder as he collapsed in sobs. That night, Finn lay alone in their bed. He reached across the sheets, knowing she wouldn't be there. "I love you, Steffi," he whispered into the darkness. "I always will." Outside, the ocean roared softly, indifferent, endless. And Finn cried until there were no tears left, knowing that some regrets never fade, and some loves never die.